Hey. I'm showing you my brow tutorial today. Hang on, I'm gonna grab my things. Okay. I'm gonna show you how to create the perfect brow with Savvy Minerals. Okay, a couple things you're gonna need. You're gonna need a good pair of tweezers. Tweezerman is a good brand. I don't know where I got these, but hey, Angela. Say hi if you're on with me. I don't know. Oh, I can wave back now. There's all these new features. Okay, cool. I can see your comments. Okay, so you need a good pair of sharp tweezers. I learned from my lady that does my lashes, because she uses tweezers a lot, that you can file these with a nail file and keep them nice and sharp. So you want to make sure that your eyebrows are nice and tweezed. It's easier to apply and get a good defined brow if you have, they're shaped. If you're uncomfortable doing this, you could definitely go and have them done, waxed. I will say that waxing lately has caused me to have like these weird bumps around my eyebrows. And so I've noticed that they use like a mineral oil based product to remove any bits of wax that are left over. So if I take my Mira cleansing oil and I have them use that instead, then I don't break out. I also stopped having them pull the hairs above my brows. I was losing the shape of my brows, so you really don't want to tweeze up here. You can grab a few stragglers, but you don't want to mess with this top line. You want to only just grab the stragglers underneath and a little bit here. If you, like me, my hair wants to like connect to my brow. It's not a unibrow, it's like a side hair brow. I don't know what you call that. And then tweeze in the middle, okay? And then you're going to need a spoolie brush. You can either use an old mascara wand and you just clean it out. I get these guys on Amazon. I get like a pack of 100 for, I don't know, it's like $3.99 or something. So I always have these spoolies. I use them to comb my lashes out and I comb my brow out. So to get a good brow, you want to brush all your hairs up. Make sure you don't have any big, long, straggly ones. If you do, like I have a couple, but they're not totally bad. You can just take a tiny pair of scissors. Let's see if I've got a pair here. I usually have a pair in my drawer. I'm in my office right now where the lighting's good. But you can just take a pair of scissors and just trim those down. And then I make this hold spray. It's basically DIY hairspray. Because I used to use those really heavy brow gels, but I'm really trying hard to get my eyebrows to grow back in nicely. Because lots of years of thyroid deficiencies and then using products that were actually clogging up my hair follicles and causing my eyebrows to not really grow in nice and full like they used to when I was a kid. So I'm trying to use more natural products on my eyebrows. So I love the powder brow, which I'm going to show you today, and I love this hold spray. I will give you the recipe for it. It's super simple. I have like little recipe cards, but I'll post it in this when we're done. It's just a couple tablespoons of simple syrup, a little bit of vodka, and then orange, lemon, and rosemary oil, rosemary is great for hair growth. You could even add cedarwood if you'd like, and lavender, which also help with hair growth. But I spray my little spoolie brush with some of that, and then I comb my brows out, and it just creates like a little tackiness to them because there is that simple syrup. And I also use this for hairspray too, and for the boys' hair getting ready in the morning. It keeps their comb over nice and neat. So you want to make sure that you comb out your eyebrows. You don't want to comb down and lay all your hairs flat like that. Don't do that. You want to go up, comb up, and then you can just come along the top and just knock the edges down so you don't have any like stragglers sitting up there, okay? Get a decent shape that way. Hey, Ashley. Okay. Next, you are going to need a really good eyebrow brush. This is where it's at. You cannot do a good eyebrow without a good eyebrow brush. Savvy Minerals has a brush. Young Living has a brush. It's called the eyeliner brush. Sorry if that's backwards. The eyeliner brush. This is the brow brush. They have an eyebrow brush, but it's an actual brush. That's for brushing them out, like I did with the spoolie brush. So you can get that one if you want to. I have it, but I rarely use it. I really like the spoolie brush. I think it does a better job of getting between the fibers of the hair strands. And then I like my very thin. You'll notice when it's on its edge, it's a very, very thin brush. This is what you want. You don't want anything pooched out. You also want to keep your eyebrow brush really clean because you are shoving wet minerals down into the base of the brush the more and more you use it, and it causes the fibers to like fray out like this, and then you don't get a nice sharp line. You want nice sharp line for those little feather hair strokes that we're gonna do. So I just washed my brush out with a little bit of Thieves dish soap. And so it's nice. And I always, when it's wet after I wash it, I pinch the top kind of like you would do with like a really good quality paintbrush when you're done painting with it. Make sure you get that nice line and then lay it flat. Never leave your brushes up on their end like this because water seeps down into the joint where the fibers are glued in and it breaks them down, and then they start to fall out, and then you get them in your makeup, and that's not fun. Okay. You will need some Savvy Minerals Multitasker. I use the dark because I'm very dark haired, but if you're not, they also have a light, medium, tan, and then this one as well. So you get the one that's closest to your shade, and you can always mix in a little bit of your foundation color to adjust it if you need to. I have found that I like the Multitasker Dark just the way it is. Thanks, Ashley. It's called Spruce. Hey, Chastity. Okay, so what I do is I take a full multitasker, and in an empty multitasker, I've been through this whole one, I use this as my mixing. So I just put a tiny, tiny little bit, like teeny tiny bit. Less product is better when you're doing your brows. You don't want to overdo it. So, I mean, we're talking like a few little granules of actual color in there, okay? So your multitasker, I've had this one for almost 2 years, and I'm finally down to the very bottom of it. But I still keep using it because you add a little bit of the misting spray to it, and it goes a long way. So, hey, Heidi. Okay, you're gonna take your misting spray and your little tiny bit of minerals, like see how little, it's just like the dregs of the bottom of the thing. And you're gonna spray some minerals in there. And you're gonna make what I call a roux, because my family's all from Missouri. So we make roux, kind of like you're making a gravy with your flour and your water, okay? You're gonna get your minerals really wet, wetter than you think. Like should be, I don't know if you can see that, pretty darn wet. Almost translucent. You don't want to put on your minerals thick, okay? But your brush should be nice and wet. So just a tiny bit on there. You can wipe off any excess on the side. Use it for the next time, okay? So I've got my minerals on. My brush is still nice and tight and very lean, okay? And you're gonna start on the bottom, not on the top, not up here, not back here. You want to start on the bottom, and you want to find this line. Okay, it should not be a comma brow. You shouldn't be going up and then over. You should be going from the thickest part straight out at an angle. Okay, and because I'm trying to do this and talk at the same time, so let's see here. And then you're just gonna do light little strokes. And when you get to the arch, that's your highest point, then you're gonna start coming down. Now it all depends on the shape that you want to go for. If you like the look of a comma brow, go for it. But I personally like them to be nice and thick and natural looking. And you want your brow to end at the corner of your eye. So if you were to go like this, the pupil towards the center out here, it should be your arch, and then going in, so like that, okay? I don't know the technical term, I'm sorry. So I got my bottom line done, okay? Pick up a tiny bit more minerals, and then on the top I want to go parallel with that line I just created. Tiny little strokes, okay? And when I get to the arch, I'm gonna start working down. Okay, now I've kind of basically got my outline done. You notice I didn't do a whole lot right here. I'm basically working top and bottom. Now I'm gonna come in with the remainder that's on my brush, very tiny, working along with the direction that my hair is going, and I'm just putting like the lightest little feather touch, okay? I've got a few little straggler brow hairs out here. I'll just comb them in when I'm done, okay? And then you just wanna go up. I turn my brush upside down so that my point is pointing down. And I work tiny little strokes in. You don't want to create this like box right here. I see a lot of girls with this like huge box. It doesn't look natural. That's not the way your brows typically want to grow. And you want them to kind of be more, less filled in here and gradually flow out, okay? Okay, so I've got my basic shape there. Now that I've got that done, it looks a little harsh, so I go back in with my spoolie brush and I brush it out. Hey, Ella. And if I need to, I can pick up a few more minerals and come back in. Now, I do my brows pretty darn quickly. I've been doing them for a long time, so this might take you a little bit of practice. But once you kind of get your shape down and you start doing them every day, it's gonna be easier. I promise you, you start using a better product on your eyebrows are gonna grow in and you'll have less of a hard time doing it. I know the gals that really struggle because they have like 3 brow hairs, and you're just gonna have to work with it. You're gonna have to find that starting place. It's always at the corner of your eye, okay? Not way out here. You wanna start your brows at the corner of your eye. You're gonna find your pupil, make a 45-degree angle, and there's your arch. And then you're gonna bring the end of your brow to the end of your eye, okay? Like so. These make you look younger, like instantly, okay? If you're working your minerals too long, they might dry out, so you might wanna add a little bit more water. Misting spray. You can use water too, but I find that the misting spray works better. And it's better than doing one giant stroke. You don't want to do that. You want to do it in like a feather stroke, like a little hair stroke. It'll look more natural that way. Okay. Now your eyebrows are going to be sisters. They're not going to be twins, unfortunately, just like our boobs. One's always different than the other. You just try to get them as close as you can. Like this angle on my brow is always a little bit more than this one. So sometimes I'll force it in. I'll come back over here and I'll create myself a little bit sharper angle to kind of make them match. And then always come back in with your spoolie brush and brush it in so that it all kind of blends in. So this is considered a powder brow. I'm not using a pencil. Pencils can make harsh lines and not look totally genuine and real. You can kind of see those brows coming. And I've painted these on pretty nice and thick for you, so I actually like a thicker brow, especially when I've got my hair done and my eye makeup on. It really sets and frames the face. So that's my personal preference. If you like a more natural, not natural is the wrong word, a lighter, softer brow, then choose a lighter color. I like the really dark, kind of dominant brows because I like to create a more chiseled looking face and a little bit more oomph in the eye because I'm making up for some chub in some other areas. So I like to go a little thicker on the eye makeup, but if I'm wearing a really bold lip, then I'll tone down the eyes. You can't have both. So choose, if you like a bold lip, maybe go a little less on the eyes. If you like a nude lip or something just like a sheer or a gloss, then go a little bolder on the eye. Don't be afraid to have strong brows. And then you can use the opposite side of this brush with your leftover minerals. You can add a little bit more misting spray, get it nice and wet. And I like to twist this brush to create a nice little fine line. Oh, got a little hair in there. And then I can come over and do my eyeliner. You notice I don't pull on my eyes because that creates wrinkles. you want to just sit with your natural, kind of almost your natural stare and do your eyeliner. If you pull and do your eyeliner, you'll end up with it in the wrong place or with lots of under eye bags and wrinkles, and you don't want to look older than you naturally are, okay? The other thing you'll notice is when I was doing my brows, I don't raise my eyebrows when I'm applying my eyes, and I don't pull them, because then your arch and everything will be in the wrong spot when you're all done. So you want to try to put your makeup on at a natural stare. And I love our multitasker for eyeliner too, kind of giving you a double whammy here, because I think it looks really natural. You can kind of fudge it in there. It doesn't have to look perfect, but it looks perfect when it's done. I love that. So anyway, there's your quick brow tutorial. Pass it along. For those in other groups, like Laurel, I'm gonna go ahead and download this live video and share it with you. Feel free to, you can come back in with your concealer, your under eye concealer, or your foundation color, and you can go ahead and put it up against your brows and create a sharper line if you like. I usually don't worry about it. I got all my face makeup on so far, so I just do my brows typically last or second to last. Hopefully that helps you. If you have any questions about anything I showed you, or you would like help specifically with your brows or choosing a color, please feel free to comment and even include your picture, and I will do my best. Hope you have a fantastic Friday. See you later.